back to my channel. I'm Janu and this is the go-to place for intentional and low impact living. So today I'm going to be showing you ways that you can reduce your waste in the kitchen. About 40% of all food is wasted, so not only is it bad for the environment, but it's also bad for your wallet as well because you're just throwing so much good food away. So first tips is to buy tea in bulk. This tea is green tea. Smells really good and it comes in bulk. I just bring the glass jars to the store and then I'm able to refill it. And then you can use like little tea bowls like this one. I'll link all this in the description box below. But what I like the most is this kind of cute teapot from IKEA. You just put the tea inside of here and then you put the water in and then you have a full pot of tea, and this is super, super cute. One thing to know about tea and normal tea bags is that they often contain plastic. So you end up getting tiny microplastics in your tea and you're drinking that and that's going into your body. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that drinking plastic is probably not good for you. I know there are some tea bags that don't contain plastic, but not only is it just better for the environment to buy in bulk, it's also just good for your wallet as well, because this is gonna be way cheaper than buying a 12-pack of tea bags. I can't remember how much this was, but it's super, super cheap and affordable, and it's gonna last you forever. So my next tip is to freeze things that you know you won't consume in a week or so. I usually buy whole loaves of bread in bulk from Whole Foods. And it's about twice the size. This is a half loaf. So usually what I do is I cut it in half and then I put half in the fridge and then I'll put half in the freezer because I know I'm not gonna go through a whole loaf in about a week and a half. And I don't want it to go bad or go stale and then I'm not gonna wanna eat it. I simply wrap it in this beeswax wrap and then I just throw it in the freezer, and then when I'm done with the other half that's in the fridge, I'll just simply take this one out to defrost. If you're like me, you like to make smoothies with frozen fruit, but all the frozen fruit that you buy at the store comes packaged entirely in plastic. So what I opt to do is I buy the fruit fresh and then I cut it up and I'll put it in stasher bags and then I'll just place it in the freezer. I know even for fruit like strawberries, for example, are hard to find non-plastic. Sometimes if you go to a farmer's market, you can find it package free. But usually what I do for like mangoes and pineapples, I'll buy it whole, I'll cut it up, and then I'll just freeze it and put them in the stasher bags, and then they're good to go. Along with freezing bread, a lot of people don't know that you can actually freeze avocados. So sometimes they're pretty ripe and maybe you don't want to use them, but you don't want them to go to waste. You can just throw these in the freezer, and then when you want to use it, you just pop it out, let it sit. Sometimes I'll like let it sit in warm water, and then you can make really good guacamole, and it's still super, super fresh. My next tip is to make a list of what you're gonna eat for the week so you can meal prep and plan. When you go to the grocery store and you just kind of grab a little bit of everything, which I am guilty of, you come home and then you like don't know what you're gonna eat for the week and you're just kind of picking and choosing. Best way is to just already have a plan so you know what you're gonna make and you know you're gonna finish it within a week and a half, however long those things should last you. Because in the past, I know I've purchased a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables and they'll be sitting in the fridge and it'll be going on to 2 weeks and I haven't used it and then it goes bad. So you can either freeze it, so you can cook it and then freeze it, which is what I do sometimes. Meal prep, obviously, and then you can also store it in water. So like for example, asparagus, you can take the asparagus and then just put it in a glass of water and that will make it last a lot longer. What I love doing is juicing, but juicing also produces a lot of waste because there's all that fruit and vegetable pulp that's left over. So one thing you can do is actually rejuice it because there's still a little bit of liquid left in that pulp. Also recommend when juicing is starting with the vegetables, and then the veggie scraps, you can actually turn that into vegetable broth. So you can just like throw that in a pot, boil it with some water, and that is veggie broth. The next thing is also composting. You can compost it if you have a place to compost, whether that's in your backyard or there's a facility you can take it to. I store my compost in the freezer. I just have a brown paper bag or a compostable trash bag, and I will just throw my food scraps in there. I've never done this, but I will link a few recipes down below where I've seen people make veggie chips out of their veggie scraps, which is pretty cool because you're really using the whole entire fruit or vegetable. My next tip is to shop in bulk if you can. These I got in bulk, this I got in bulk, and it's cheaper, it saves you so much money, and it's great for the environment because you're not bringing home all this plastic that's just single use. You're only using it for an hour or so to bring it from the store to your house. I will use reusable produce bags instead of taking these large containers to the store, but it's also super, super cute to store them in mason jars. I love storing it in glass because you can see it, and it's just beautiful and it's sustainable, and I'm gonna use these mason jars forever. I know sometimes these can rust easily when you put them in water, so you have to make sure you dry the tops pretty well, but you can also repurchase just the tops if they ever rust too much on you. Because most cleaners contain all these harsh toxic chemicals, and you really don't know what's in it because they're actually not required to tell you what's in these cleaning products. So for me, it's really important to either really know what's in the cleaning product or to just make my own. But I just make my own because I think it's just less wasteful and it saves me a ton of money. So I will take white vinegar. I can get this refilled. So this is a plastic bottle, but I just keep it and keep refilling it. And then I have Castile soap that I use as well. This I got in bulk. And then I have baking soda that I got in bulk as well, which is super, super cheap. And then I have essential oils. You can use whatever essential oils you want. I also use rubbing alcohol as well for certain things. So if I'm just cleaning the counter, usually the solution's like water, vinegar, essential oils, and rubbing alcohol. And that's kind of my all-purpose cleaner that I use to clean everything. If I'm cleaning the bathtub, I'll use baking soda and vinegar. What I do when I wash my tub is I just get in the tub and then I wash the tub and then I take a shower after just to kind of clean everything. And it's great because it's non-toxic and I'm not breathing in any harsh chemicals.
Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.